hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, previewing and reviewing the latest news from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Pale and Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J. that that guy, and alongside the leader of Squash Squad, Kaliko Yas.
Oh,
And we were doing so well before we got on. A lot of technical issues at this point, but a lot of Wi-Fi connection problems. But we'll try and get everything in. But Kaliko is indeed here. I am as well. Not the greatest connection, but we'll figure it out. Alright, and the American Spirit Dust, who is not here. Um, and it was a good week for Wrestling with as we interviewed D5. Fantastic interview, his first ever interview. You could definitely go check that out. And a fantastic interview with Sid Wen, um, one of the co-founders of pro wrestling in the country of Vietnam. Cannot recommend that enough. This upcoming Tuesday, we have Persephone Rice, a fantastic interview with one of our one of our favorite countries, Canada. We talk about her shoulder injury, the documentary they made about her competing in the Slush Puppy Arena in front of over 3,000 fans, and a whole of a lot more. So you definitely want to go check that out. And on Wednesday we have the nice guy Jacob Thrasher, and a very nice interview, maybe very evil as well. Um, Definitely a fantastic guy, fantastic conversation. We talked about being a part of the Nightmare Factory, Josh Breezy, what he's doing now, maybe some paranormal encounters, and a hell of a lot more. If you don't believe me, here's some clips now. Your name is Persephone. Um, has there been what has been the worst butchering of your name since you took it on?
um, a lot of it, I mean, there's always been some, obviously, like, incorrect spelling, but there is Persephone
Okay,
and, and Persephone. Those have been the two.
okay. If you had to be either
And
Persephone
there's
or
one more. And there's one more. Persephone. Persephone Vice. Sorry to cut you off. There's that last one. You can't forget that one.
so, if you had to draw Persephone, would you be Persephone Vice?
Absolutely not. No way. No.
I don't know.
Persephone, you're a bust.
Can you tell us about your fear of wax statues and animatronic people?
uh, anytime that comes up, I understand how people be like, that's ridiculous. um, it's weird. Yeah, I get super freaked out with wax figures and statues. Something about them is just isn't right because they look human, but they're not. And it's just it's unsettling to see something that is like not alive, but it's like, especially with animatronics, it's like it looks human, it looks real, and it's moving like a person, but it's like it's not alive. I think that just kind of like bothers me. I just cannot be like near it at all.
Right, and then on the 25th we have Aaron S, and on the 26th we have Riley Matthews, and Riley is our 200th interview ever. So thank you for listening. If you started from episode 1, thank you. If you're starting with episode 200, also thank you. Of course, you can find all of these interviews and who we're interviewing coming up on Twitter at Wrestling with or on Twitter and Instagram.
I am not gonna let this damn thing kill my streak. Fuck all that.
Well, now that we're done putting ourselves over, it was not a great day for wrestling as we lost another one. We lost Mantel, Mike Keller, I believe his name was. Maybe not the biggest name in pro wrestling history, but definitely a part of the wrestling family, no, Felicia?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think when, even though, his contribution may not have been as widely known, um, it still was important, right? Because it's kind of like, he's kind of like the unheroic Barry Horowitz of the world, the guy that gets people over. And people always think it's like jobbers, and everybody's trying to like I hate that term jobber, because when you get on TV, that means they have confidence in you to like actually do something and trust you to put someone over and do something professionally. So to me, I don't really like that term, but I also understand the contribution he made. So therefore, he's just as important as your favorite superstar, because your favorite superstar got to win over somebody, right?
Right. And from what I've heard from other people, he was a whole bit a nice guy. And nice guys, are underappreciated in pro wrestling, especially back in that day when, it was more or less the Wild West of pro wrestling, the Wild West days of pro wrestling. No, Felicia?
I think the last nice guy to actually get appreciated was probably Luke Harper.
Hmm,
Like actually, like that, where they know he was genuinely a gentle soul, right? And back in those days, in the '80s, it was pretty much like, but the '80s it was a little different because they didn't think wrestling would be so mainstream as it is now, right? That hindsight's 2020.
right. And
Because being on TV on a national audience was like relatively new, so not a lot of people understood the gravity of it, and and some people really didn't care about the gravity of it. So
from 91 to 94, he wrestled for Top Wrestling Association. 95, he was in World Wrestling Federation. He made a stint in ECW at one point in Touch Wrestling, and a return to Touch Wrestling as well. He came back to WWE in '96, where he had an encounter with the Ultimate Warrior. Um, then United States Wrestling Association and World Championship Wrestling in '97. So I mean, he wrestled for all the big companies, the top three at least. Um, Unfortunately, we lost him way too soon. He was 55. Um, but he does have a family. So, it definitely sucks.
It does. See, I remember him in the USWA days though, because he was a USWA heavyweight champion.
Right. But I mean, unfortunately, people are going to remember the big bullhead that he had to put on for WWE.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Right. Um, our thoughts and prayers go out to the friends and family of Mike Foley. Right. Speaking of family, Brian Pillman Jr. has left AEW reportedly. His contract was up. He did not renew, and now he is a free agent. This to me is, how did they let this guy slip through their fingers? Because how could you say, "Oh, we're promoting younger talent. We're trying to bring up new guys," when you had a diamond in the rough in Brian Pillman and he never got any major chances in the company?
Well, that's a little different. I mean, to me, it's like AEW had that with good intentions, but keep in mind, like when you're signing these deals with TV companies, they don't have the patience to wait to they don't have the patience to be like, oh yeah, in 2 years he'll be the big guy. They want the guys now because they want a return on their investment now, and I think we kind of get lost in the sauce of that, which is why they ended up signing all these big names like Adam Cole and Miro and all the ex WWE guys, because those are the guys that are needed to bring in the ratings that those TV executives are expecting. Like that's the yin and yang of it. AEW's new, so they don't have that learning curve like WWE has in NXT. So if Pillman does go to NXT, he's actually able to develop and then get himself on TV, unlike AEW, which is kind of like pass or fail, basically trial by error.
Do you think that we'll see Brian Pillman signed by WWE?
He's young enough. I wouldn't see why not. I mean, he'll get a shot. I mean, there's too many wrestlers not to get a shot, and he has lineage there with his father, so it's not like you know
But has
out of the blue.
Could Brian Pillman have been something big in AEW, but they just dropped the ball? In your opinion?
I think AEW was already set on who they wanted to be their future, and and that's the thing with wrestling. Like everybody wants everybody to be on top. Everybody can't be on top. I mean, take Seth Rollins for instance. That dude, he was the guy, but when we see the top guy in the last 5 years,
Just now.
right? So I mean, it's not like it's all a shuffle. It's like a time in the sun. Hillman was, I think, his biggest thing was he was stuck with a tag team. So, and being a young tag team in a stacked division, which AEW at the time had, it was easy to get lost in that sauce of the tag team.
I think we'll see what happens with Brian, and hopefully it's something good. That adds to his legacy. Right. AEW is banning moves from the company. And if you need, you could have these moves approved if you go to, I guess, Tony and the agents. But I'm gonna list off everything that is banned from the company now. Unprotected chair shots to the head, shots to the back of the head, buckle bomb, the blind move backwards into the turnbuckle, fencing responses, unnatural position of arms following a concussion, seizure cells, spitting, bleeding in the crowd, weapons or projectiles in the crowd, taking drinks or food from the guests in the crowd, or physical contact with the crowd. Um, Also, there is all of that has been banned. And that's what let's talk about that because there's a lot more. Unprotected headshots and unprotected shots in general is a good rule to have, right, Felicia?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get why people would think that. I mean, I get it, but in an age where we have like these NFL concussions being a big headline, you don't want to be that company that has to deal with that, right?
Right.
Now, the bigger problem is just because they don't do it on AEW, that doesn't mean that they won't do it at the local indie shows, which is the loophole, right? And that's where I think AEW has to be a little better, bit better of protecting their investment because a lot of those guys are working indie shows, and those indie shows are getting headshots, and they could get a headshot, then get a concussion, don't feel the effects, go back on the TV show, and get and just bounce their head off the mat, and boom, it could reoccur. So this is where that rubber is going to meet the road when eventually when it comes to AEW, and that's going to be the battle that they're going to have, and
Also,
that's going to be the conversation that no one really wants to have.
the spitting, bleeding, and weapons and projectiles in the crowd, or taking drinks and food from the guests in the crowd. Um, I could make the argument this should have been banned in 2020 when we had a fucking pandemic. Well, 3 years removed from that.
I mean, but keep in mind they were in one spot, and there was more people doing it at that point. But I. Uh, this sounds like a John Moxley rule. They should just carve that the Moxley rule.
Who the fuck is pretending to have a seizure in the ring? That's just fucking sick.
You'd be surprised, bro.
Yeah.
You'd
And
be surprised.
and these are things that are banned, so you can't do these things anymore. They're not negotiable. But there's a list of moves and actions that the company wants talent to have approved by coaches and officials before they do them out in the ring. And these are said things. Spots and bumps on the ring apron and outside. Table ladders, chair spots in and out of the ring. Any elevated spot outside of the barricades, dive and ladder spots on stage, around the arena, and other places outside of the ring. All pile drivers, tombstone variations, including sit-down drivers, embroidered positions, cloth piranha, and vet breakers. Um, Maybe backbreakers? I don't know. High risk dives or top rope moves, 450s, fixed 30s, double moonsaults, SSTs, inten- intentional bleeding of any sort, not just blading, drawing people into through oval ring steps, commentary table, guardrails barricades, weapons used, chairs, pipes, candlesticks, hammers, ring bells, bats, chains, title belts, thumbtacks, skewers, barbed wire, other sharp puncturing objects, and powders, um, arsenal spray and liquids, throwing any weapons or objects, chairs, choking, strangling with hands or a weapon or hanging spots, injury spots or angles, whether or not medical is involved, called to the ring, any physicality in the crowd or crowd brawling, any physicality involving referee, managers, experts, celebrities, or special guests. This is basically just a full. This is basically the full episode of AEW. No, this is every single match.
Uh, uh, the theorist in me is like, how much is this is TXX and how much is this is AEW calm down on trying to get the best spot.
I think you're right with the first.
Because
I think you're right with the first. Your first assumption that it could please the Warner Brothers. No.
I mean, it would have to because no one has these problems with TNT. Because TNT, I mean, it's TBS. TNT TBS really didn't care. None of this came into play with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, I, I can't say that they have a family image per se, but depending on what TV show or what channel that they're on, they probably want to do it. I mean, they're trying to make it more family friendly and family copacetic for an audience. But the problem is by doing that, the AEW purists are going to think, oh, you're trying to be WWE.
Right.
But, and that's where the conflict's going to come. It's like you're making us into the thing that we got away from that thing to get with you in the first place. So now, so that's going to be an interesting dichotomy. Now, there are some probably going to be some diehards that really don't care. I mean, that's just the name of the game. But I wonder how that's going to work out a couple months from now. Maybe people won't even care. They just probably be like, oh, it's AEW protecting the safety of the players. But, and maybe they could get the fans to be like, oh, they're just doing that. Unlike WWE, which is like suffering succotash, da 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 da. You know, they'll justify it somehow.
I mean, when I see intentional bleeding, I all I can think is don't knock respect. No.
The Moxley rule. That's what we're gonna call it from here on out. It's the Moxley effect. You know how they have the Grayson Waller effect? It's the Moxley effect. That's
I mean, spots and bumps out on the apron and outside the ring. That's every single match. Dives and rattle spots on stage. That's a lot of the matches. High risk dives, top rope moves. That's
that's
more.
every match,
Yeah.
every bloody guy. I mean, but to be quite honest, it could be a good thing because by default now they have to deal with actual storytelling.
I mean, I think that
So
it's a good thing. It just that it could actually make these guys think outside of the box somewhat to make a match make more sense than just doing flippy shit.
but the problem is that part is going to be the biggest learning curve ever because of the fact that I'm a big believer in however long it took to get to point A, it's going to take just as long to get to point B, right? So they've been doing this for 3 years, flippy shit. You think it's going to flip in 3 months? No.
I mean,
And the thing is that other than the TV execs who in the locker room is going to give them the correction that is needed.
True. But I mean, do you not think the WWE was going to change so drastically when Triple H got in charge of creative? And like within a month, half the roster, there was roster change, there was storyline changes, there was everything changed when he came into power. So I mean, wouldn't surprise me if like in a month or two we'll see real development in AEW's match style.
I mean, they should have just added like stop letting referees try to get their shit in, but then that would go too far.
Yeah, and you have to let them get some of their footage. Oh, AEW is thinking about doing monthly pay-per-views. And it is another Warner Brothers thought of to do to have them producing. Um, as far as I know, the pay-per-views have nothing to do with the TV show, no? So it's purely just AEW. That's purely income for AEW, or am I wrong on that?
I mean, not really, because Warner Brothers won the ROI. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if Warner Brothers making them change and they're putting so much investment, AEW is like, okay, we'll do monthly to try to keep people invested in stories. Because all this sounds like a transition storyline wrestling, which, I mean, let's be quite honest, they kind of need it. They, they need it. Necessity is the mother of invention. And at this point, Warner Brothers making them change is not a bad idea.
I think it's a good
Because
idea.
sometimes, I mean, because for some of these wrestlers, and some of these wrestlers, AEW may be seeming like their endpoint, but life comes quick and that endpoint will shift real quick. So, I mean, see Brian Pillman.
True. I mean, I like the idea of monthly pay-per-views, but my thing of it is, how much are these things going to cost? How long are they going to be? And are they going to be worth getting every single month? Um,
That is the question. But the thing is, they got a roster so deep, they gotta. I mean, they pretty much signed everybody who isn't dead as a wrestler. So they gotta get a return on investment from those guys. So eventually, you have to do something to make that revenue kick in. I mean, common sense, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, on the opposite end of that, I am interested in maybe a monthly AEW pay-per-view if it's like 2.5, 3 hours, and it's easier for us to for them to develop these stories with these guys to to a natural conclusion or progress the story. Because I mean, as of right now, you're waiting every 3 months to get a pay preview for these matches, and sometimes it could be very drawn out, or they either draw the rivalry out ridiculously long where the story gets lost, or they just don't mention it for like 2, 3 weeks and then come back to it a month later because they have to wait a certain amount of time to get it on pay preview. But to get
but
it,
that's AEW's fault because they're not doing one. They're not making us really care about the story per se. Like that was an issue before Warner Brothers did that, right?
yeah,
Like they have enough people to where they can recycle and give you tidbits of stories every week. It's just that they cater to the base, and the base cares about Adam Cole and MJF and CM Punk and Kenny Omega and the Bucks, and they don't really care about Private Party or you know what I mean. Or they get them hot for a second and make them go completely cold, such as the Acclaim or Miro or Soho before she became an outcast. Athena. I mean, I could keep going.
Right.
It's it's just that they don't really make you want to care about it. Like, they have to make you care. Like they give everybody, make everyone seem like their part matters and it's important, but they don't.
No, I talked about just the, if they do a monthly, what platform it's going to be on, how much is it going to be. If this is on HBO Max, because that has been a rumored place, that would be a big thing for HBO Max and AEW at the same time, because now their content is on a major streaming service, and it brings more people to HBO Max. Would that be a good viable option for AEW to get their pay-per-views on Max as a subscription service?
It depends. And the reason I say it depends because it's like you have to look at how many people who watch AEW already have it, and who are the people who are going, well, I've never seen AEW, but I'm willing to get it to watch this.
Right,
You see what I'm saying? Those are the two biggest questions that the AEW is going to have to face. And then the other factor is if they are on HBO Max, can they follow their format of how they're scripting these shows? Because I'm pretty sure if they're going to be on HBO Max, Warner Brothers going to be like, we want y'all to do something a certain way.
right.
So that's another, and then it comes to replay rights, streaming rights. It's a big shot in the dark for better or for worse for AEW.
And I
So
mean, what they're doing right now in AEW, um, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of positivity when it comes to the storylines that they're doing and what they could do and what's going on. The only positive thing is the Wembley show, and it's kind of despite all of the shortcomings that they're having right now. Um, that being said, the teams for Blood and Guts have been decided. On the Elite side, I believe we confirmed this last week, it is indeed Kota Ibushi. On the BBC, the Combat Wombats, whatever you want to call them, it's the Bastard Punk. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Scooter was right. This was CM Punk's spot. And this is clearly the Bucks saying no. Yes, Kalika?
yes, and that's the problem. Like, can they get over their egos to work together? No one, and that's the biggest emphasis. Like, I don't know what in the hell and that's the thing. The Bucks seem like that the group of cats that are like, once you're out type deal with them,
Right,
and and they're gonna stand on their principle, and they have every right to, right? Like it's not like they owe CM Punk anything because CM Punk was not a move that they wanted to make. That was a Tony Khan decision, not a Young Buck decision.
I mean, it's not. Nobody was clamoring for even before CM Punk came to AEW. Nobody was clamoring for a CM Punk. Young Bucks match. The money was always Kenny and Punk. So I mean, is the Bucks stopping Punk from working with Omega? Are they saying to Omega, no, don't wrestle him? Because I feel like Kenny would do business if business was right with Punk.
No, because where Kenny goes, the Bucks goes. Come on, you know this. You come on, man.
Yeah.
We know this. We know this story. Like they literally built this thing together. And do you think Kenny, for one split iota, is gonna go? Yeah, Bucks. I know y'all said X, but fuck it, we're just gonna go Y.
I
When
mean,
every decision that they made together has been every decision Kenny has made has had the Bucks in mind. Because if that was the case, Kenny might as well have to stay in Japan.
you might not be wrong about that. But yeah, the Boston Talks back. That's good news, right?
I mean, it is someone who beat Kenny, so I mean, there's that.
Sure.
There's that. We'll give you that much.
And other news, Matt Hardy went insane in on Twitter. Have you seen about this, Felipe?
I have not enlightened me. I was too busy watching someone else's Twitter and watching how somebody literally got on Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, as everybody knows, Jim Cornette is a thing on the internet. He has a podcast. He does things, and people like that podcast. The Jim Cornette Experience, the Jim Cornette, whatever you want to call it. Um, and obviously he has fans. Um, Matt Hardy went online and said that these fans are toxic and hate the Young Bucks because Jim Cornette says that they should. Um, not exactly right, but that's what he went with. I could pull up the tweet. Here we go. This is the exact quote from Matt Hardy. Between
There we
this,
go. Let me hear this one. Let me hear the quote.
okay, between this and the toxic Cornette cult, these guys don't get the admiration that they truly deserve. Die-hard elite fans are phenomenal, and get why they're special. But there's a huge chunk of fans that fail to give them the credit they deserve. Give these guys their flowers. Talking about the Young Bucks. Jim Cornette then responded, geez, Matt, I could understand selling your soul for rock and roll, but selling it for Adderall. Oh, let me wait.
Damn.
Let me get into character. Geez, Matt, I could understand selling your soul for rock and roll, but selling for Adderall, even if you have an even if you have to abandon your principles and verbally violate these characters, validate. I can't do it.
Yeah,
Validate
you
these
can't. No,
characters'
no, it's
freedom
too
for
high.
your check.
You know what? He's like 60 to 70 years old, and I don't know why we keep thinking his voice is that high pitched.
Validate these characters' freedom for your check. Leave my fans alone. Expect a full attorney not paying them enough to lie. Which Matt Hardy responded, geez, Jim, haven't sold my soul. I'm sticking to my principles and telling truth. I feel morally obligated to do right by my friends, although that's probably foreign to you. I earn a check because I'm great at what I do and is still employable. Keep on seeding dissension amongst fans with your stick. It's too sweet.
This shit's crazy.
Oh, there's a lot more. But what I want to get what I want to start off with is fans are fans. Whether they like the elites or not, that is their choice. And for Matt Hardy to go online and say these fans don't matter because they don't like, or they don't, these fans don't matter, they're toxic, they don't get it because they don't like the elite. That's a pretty narrow mind to how to, of thinking. No, Kaliko?
You're asking that question, and you're sitting up there talking like you ain't never been seen an AEW fan who goes, "Oh, you still watch WWE?"
Yes.
Like it. To me,
Unless
that's
you
just the
bought a brand,
game.
he's Matt
It,
Hardy.
it,
He's
it's the
called
game.
the company line for WWE. He's been a part of that
No,
company. He
that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that every fucking thing has rabid fanatics. Everything has rabid. What's the word can I look up? Extremists is the word I'm looking for because that's what this is. This is more wrestling in itself is kind of tribalistic at times, and sometimes it's our fault. Like we're fickle as shit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Um, Wrestling fans can be the most genuine, awesome, toxic motherfuckers ever. Like so, it's nothing new to say that is just one sided is disingenuous at best because it's AEW fans, it's WWE fans, it's everybody. Because some people may not like the Bucks. Get it? Granted, I I'm one of those guys who I think the Bucks are very incredible. When they want to have a great match, they can have it, right?
but
Um, there's no but. I mean, that's just how I feel about them. They can have it when they're invested in it and they feel like it. I just don't think the tribalism is gonna get anywhere with it. It's him calling everybody toxic, bro. You haven't been to an AEW show that's basically toxic wrestling in itself. Like,
well, he
tell me
doesn't.
I'm lying,
But I mean, he's usually on the pre-show, so he doesn't get to see the crowd when it's all there.
bro. I've been there and when it's all there, and they still goddamn be toxic. What are
I'm
you talking
talking
about?
about Matt Hardy.
And I'm talking about Matt Hardy. His ass been there. We talking about the same goddamn thing. I don't know why. I don't know why you tripping.
Well, it gets worse. Apparently afterwards, Matt Hardy, well, Jim Cornette went to bed. Matt Hardy continued to berate Jim Cornette and his co-host Brian Lass on Twitter.
Oh, Matt
Well,
Hardy after dark.
Hardy after dark, yeah. Um, Lass responded, and he said he thinks he is a great. He thinks he is great at what he does. We've all been watching. His promos suck. His in-ring works is shit. And the only thing anyone has ever been interested in him doing is tagging in his brother Jeff. Telling the truth is seeding dissension. Question mark. How many concussions is too many? Obviously, referring to the time Matt Hardy had his head almost split open during the Sammy Guevara match. Then Matt responded to that. I'm great at what I do, Brian Least. I'm at. I am great at pro wrestling. I am great at giving back and helping young talent. You're just some asshole with an opinion, and that opinion doesn't mean shit in reality. But most importantly, just an asshole. Ryan Last responded, "You've been a great enabler, but you know your crap has sucked for years. That's Mr. Asshole to you. Toxic."
God damn, this is like, wait a minute. Where did I miss all
It
this
gets oh
shit?
no, it gets better. This is the best line of the whole fucking thing. Matt Hardy responded to that. Another city joke. Just be your for Just be your forte, least. My shit's good. Your shit is shit. You toxic, bitch ass asshole. Kaliko, have you ever been called a bitch ass asshole?
I've been called a lot of things. A bitch ass asshole has not been one of them.
Matt Hardy uh, inventing new words that we didn't know we needed in our lives. No?
I know. Little dictionary up in this bitch.
Ross then responded, "You are trying to convince yourself, question mark, your work is shit. Stay home, no one will care. You seem
Jesus
more
Christ,
forte."
they have like what is the fuck? Like wait a minute, this has been the whole time? Like are
Yeah,
they
like,
trying to be like Death Row versus Bad Boy up in this bitch? Like what's the aim? What's the aim? What's the end game?
oh, you seem much more toxic than I am, with a track record to back it up. I'm better at what I do than you are at whatever it is you're still trying to do, Mr. Asshole to you. Uh,
Wow.
Not Hardy. Don't have to convince myself my live reactions, paychecks, and appearance fees solidify I am good. I don't know shit about you, nor care to. So keep doing what you're good at, you goofy bitch ass asshole. I'll do the same, and you can continue to whine and cry about it like a baby. You don't know anything about him, but he's literally criticizing him and his soul for being a toxic place for fans that don't like AEW. How can you
Well,
say
that is
you don't know somebody, but you've heard them? And he called him a
because
bitch ass asshole again. That's
because
just
he heard the clip. The point is that he's trying to say that the only reason I even know of you is because of the fact that someone tweeted me the clip. That's basically what that is. So it's a deflection play, like followers, like how people on Instagram be like, I only know you because my followers said some shit. That's basically what that sounds like. But I'm just trying to figure out like when did all this like you know what? I was too busy like with people boycotting the BET awards with all that other shit, but
you should have been on wrestling Twitter, buddy.
but I didn't know wrestling had this much drama in it over the Young Bucks. I mean, I've seen I, it, the winner is nobody. Nobody's winning in this.
I mean, when was the last time somebody from WWE said, "Oh, Jim Cornette is the reason people don't like WWE is because of Jim Cornette, and Jim Cornette is saying bad things about me. How dare you, Jim Cornette? Fuck you." From WWE. How many?
Cause they're too busy fucking touring to be doing that shit. Maybe they need some house shows.
Well, there's a little bit more. Brian last respond.
Probably, probably too much to bear at this point.
Yeah. Brian last responded, "How dare you? You're way goofier than me. You understand that you are the one whining and crying, right? Can you still comprehend that much? Once again, you seem quite toxic. Is everything okay?" And then
They're making. I mean, I already hated the word toxic, but they really making me want to hate the word toxic.
the word toxic should only be referred to attraction, and that is Gigi Dolan, and the other two. Um,
JC James, and Mandy Rose. God damn, like it.
well, we talk about Gigi a lot more than we do about the other two. And I mean the other one that isn't even in pro wrestling anymore. So
I
I,
mean, that's not no fault of her own.
I think it kind of is.
I
I mean,
mean, kind of. Let me retract. Kinda her fault. Kinda her fault. However, I understand.
They had one rule: don't show your boobs. And what did she do? She showed her boobs.
Niggas paying money for them titties.
And I mean, she's making more money off it, so good for her.
No shit. Like, fuck you mean? People man. I mean, if niggas out here sending $100 for feet pics, man, you don't know what the fuck these people. We some crazy motherfuckers. We some goofy ass people.
And I mean,
We're goofy as a humankind.
people only knew her in pro wrestling, and now on her, it's not even OnlyFans, it's one of the other ones. Now everybody
Like
knows her now.
brand army or whatever. Fuck it, who knows?
Everybody
But
knows her now.
they
Play the cheer song now.
that is a song. All the girls standing in the line for the bathroom. NERD.
Alright, and this is the last. This is what we'll read to Matt Hardy, Jim Cornette rivalry.
We're still going.
There's at least one more line.
Okay. If it
Me
if
stating
it
that
says toxic, I'm gonna scream.
you two constantly fuel a toxic culture isn't whining.
Jesus Christ! Like, God damn it!
It's just hard truths. You constantly moaning and bitching about me wrestling is whining and crying. Can you discern that, or are you a mooncap?
Bitch ass asshole.
And
Oh, no, no.
and great, by the way. Just did a huge con in Tennessee, have four beautiful kids, financially set for life, still get to live my dream, have major respect in my industry. I am considered a living legend, been a huge contributor to the pro wrestling, and no rando from the internet's opinion is going to change any of this. Especially not any egotistical asshole like Brian Least. Congrats on the podcast. It'll be a great way to be remembered in history. Enough of this silly ass cyber convo. It's time to go crawl up on top of my hot ass wife. The word in here
Well, that's a.
is that was that consent.
He's married. Where does consent come into marriage? Anyways, that's. You know what? Let me retract that before I get canceled.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
this
Uh,
is not a good look for Matt Hardy, no.
honestly, if I was Matt Hardy, I would have just referenced a bar that Eminem had, and I can't remember the name of the song, but Eminem was like, you're not even a blip on my fucking radar. That's how far away you are."
And I think Matt
That's,
Hardy
I
is
mean,
listening to
you're
Eminem. Eminem.
bullshit. That, I mean, everybody knows that bar. Because that bar he was referring to, he was basically going back at his detractors. And one of his detractors at that time was Charlemagne the God. And he was like, "Oh, one shout out to Charlemagne. Oh, you said I wasn't great. I didn't know because you're blip on my radar so far away." So basically saying, like, I'm too famous to even know and care what the fuck you think. Which, to which Matt Hardy would have had a hell of a point with that. But for some odd reason, he decided to keep going back to toxic. Yeah, toxic.
Yeah, I think
To-
I think he's been spending too much time with the young bucks at this point. Honestly,
too much time with the Young Bucks?
I mean, it feels like something that they would instill in him. I mean, this started with him trying to give them flowers, and ended with him saying he that he's financially set for life. He's a fucking legend. Everybody else is toxic, and he has a hot ass wife. How did we get there?
But those are all the truth.
I mean, yeah, but again, some people just shouldn't be on Twitter. At least in this
Like like me. Yeah, I shouldn't be on
when's the last time you tweeted?
That's why I shouldn't be on Twitter. Elon Musk, though, I must say, but I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, I still don't get what what was the end game of all of this, because it doesn't go. I can't wait to see Jim Cornette next week, or I can't wait to go check AEW for Matt Hardy next week. It doesn't really solve anything.
I mean, it only really legitimizes Jim Cornette more as, you know, somebody that has a voice in the pro wrestling world, in my
But
opinion.
he always had. But the problem is, he always had a voice. There's a reason that. I mean, Dark Side of the Ring, you don't see his ass. Shit, like he's a like for everyone that says Jim Cornette isn't worth shit. He's a goddamn wrestling historian like I've never seen. Like the fact that he knows so much history about it is fucking great. For better or for worse, well, no matter what you feel about
I will leave it at this. If you like the Young Bucks, if you like Kenny Omega, if you like AEW, that's your thing. Fantastic.
him, yeah,
But
yeah,
don't shit on people that don't like them. And if you don't like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and AEW, you have that opinion as well. You should be allowed to voice that as well. But don't shit on people that do like it. You could shit on the product,
man,
you
please,
can't shit
this
on
whole
the people.
goddamn you no you talking all that let's be friends shit, and ain't nobody trying to be friends in this shit
Oh, hell no.
because they're. So I don't know why you even going there.
I'm trying to get
I
people
get it.
to. It's like a what did we learn on the show today type thing. Friendship.
You're trying to be the wrestling Rodney King. That's what it sounds like. Can we all just get along type shit? And no one's having it. Nobody's having that shit. Only you, sir. You're the only one in the room. Now me, I understand what it is, but at least I'm gonna get some goddamn jokes out of this shit. But you, oh yeah, let's harmonize like the land before time or some shit.
I mean,
Like man, stop,
I mean,
stop.
bitch ass asshole isn't going anywhere anytime soon, no?
If he didn't say the other bitch ass that I thought was gonna follow up with it, I'm cool with it. Because when people say bitch ass, it's usually a third word that's only certain people can say. And I was like, waiting on that one to come out. Okay,
Well, I think that's enough of this. On to another
more
topic.
than more than enough.
Yeah. Red Theory. If you know the band that makes they sing Randy Orton's theme song for voices. They just released a new remix of the voices, which is pumping rumors and innuendo into it's time for Randy Orton to come back. Um, it's been over a year, no, Kaneko?
It has, but he's honestly, I don't even blame him taking this long because when you think about all the other people that have came and went, he's like been hella consistent. And I can't even think other than injury, when was the last time he had a vacation of this significance?
Hmm. I think maybe
Like this like this amount of time off. other than injury.
Sure. Well, I mean, this isn't it. He was injured. It was his
I know he
second
was
injury.
injured, but what I'm saying is that fuck it, he earned that shit. He earned. I don't get. Yo, if he chooses not to come back, I don't care. He earned that shit.
I mean, selfishly, I do want him back because I love some Randy Orton. But I mean, if he retires tomorrow, I mean, his legacy is cemented. He's one of the greatest of all time.
I think his greatness is in the consistency, personally. Because when everyone else was dipping out, going to Hollywood, he was the only guy that kind of like stayed in it with the business in mind.
Right. And I think, and I mean, in the last few years, he was operating on such a different level. Um, even if there is no more Randy Orton, in an actual ring, I feel like Randy Orton's going to do something backstage. He's not going to just walk away from the wrestling business completely.
Mm, I wouldn't put that much stock in it, but I mean, if he does, great. If he doesn't, cool. But if he does come back, I think everybody will be ready for him. The question is now, where do you start with him? Like, does he pick up? Because keep in mind, the track was for him to go against Riddle.
Right.
So do you keep that? Do you have that comeback where he thinks he's with Riddle and then he turns on Riddle that night? You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
so many moving parts with him coming back. It's
I think. I mean, Riddle has been still mentioning Randy Orton on WWE TV regularly since he's came back. So I mean, it feels like the most natural thing to have Riddle versus Randy right away. And I think it also will run its course. It is what it is. I think have the one match where they team together, have Randy RKO the motherfucker, and go into SummerSlam as a match, or even
nah.
before after SummerSlam, whenever he decides to do
If you're gonna do it, you might as well just do it right immediately, right? Like just cut that cord. Because to me, my best bet would have been like have I if I had it my way, I would have had Riddle win Money in the Bank and had Randy coerce Riddle into cashing in for Randy. That
it.
would have been some shit. That would have been some cold ass shit because it felt like Randy could have spit in his throat and Riddle would have been like, more please, at that time.
Right. But I mean,
And that would have been and that would have been a first, like a person who cashes it in to give it to someone else.
and I mean, at the time that would have been awesome. But I feel like we're so far removed
Oh
from
yeah,
it.
we're far gone. We're far gone.
Right.
So we're far gone from that. So he's gonna have to come back and just like turn immediately. Because
Right.
the problem is that he's gonna come back as a face and you're gonna want him to do it immediately to be a heel to say fuck the people, or he's gonna come back and Riddle is the heel. So that is the question. Who's gonna be the bad guy? Who's who's the person we should be feeling sorry for?
I feel like if they put Randy Orton to turn heel on Riddle, which is the most natural thing to do, obviously. But I feel like Randy's at that spot where he could decapitate a motherfucker in the middle of the ring and the people will cheer. I think the people are firmly on his side whether he's a good guy or a bad guy at this point.
Especially if he does it to Riddle. So that's my point. Like, who should be the person that is wronged? That's a big question.
I mean, we've never seen Riddle as a heel.
But they haven't really put him in that position.
I mean, anybody could be in the position when they want them to be in the position. It's just,
While while I agree with that, there are certain people who can like naturally progress to that. Like Riddle coming back and then facing. I mean, at best, if he faced Gunther and the people are over with Gunther, maybe because based on how his last match was. But I mean, but then again, they still had him act like a face for the Money in the Bank. So I mean, you know what I mean?
right.
So it's kind of too late to do that part unless they just want a hell of a swerve, which could happen at SummerSlam. That could be something where it's a swerve at SummerSlam. Because I could see Riddle going, I needed you and you weren't there for me, so fuck you.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens because I feel like if when Randy comes back, it you can't have Riddle not do anything. It's the natural thing to do. It's just to slide him in with Riddle. So it will be interesting to see.
Natural doesn't make it right.
Well, that brings us to our last bit of news. WWE correspondent, whatever you want to call her, interviewer, backstage person, Megan Moran, donated her kidney to the kidney place. I believe it was kidneys R Us. She went in. They said she said I want to give my kidney. They said give us your kidney. They put her under anesthesia, and she woke up a couple hours later in an ice bath. So did I vote for donating a kidney? No, Kalika.
I mean, I that is a that is a freaking dedication. That's dedication, and that's really good. I will say that it is very, very good.
If you want more
So
information, oh, continue.
I mean, I'm like, yo, that's. I mean, if it felt it in our heart, I'm surprised WWE didn't do anything to capitalize off that because I feel like that's some shit they'd be like, oh, look at us, literally saving lives.
You're not wrong about that. If you want more information on the whole story, we wasted way too much time with Matt Hardy freaking out on Twitter to give you a good wholesome story like Megan Moran.
Toxic. We were too toxic with Matt Hardy to give you.
Correct. Um, so you could go online to type it into Google machine. I'm sure you'll get all the information, the full story from Megan herself. Again, great human being. Good on her. Alright, I believe we are done with the news. Now a quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake. First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with in New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax. During
Yes! Yes, 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 yes.
we will be previewing the first week of matches, and it already got to a very heated point during the press conference. Okada was the only one wearing a suit. Kenta was the most handsome one there. Um, what's the guy's name? Coughlin's whole family died before he got to the G1. Um, it was a lot, and it seems like everybody's fired up, and Kenta is coming back from injury. So let's get into it. Night one.
Wait,
Um,
can we just one edit? Can we just change the name? Because I feel like should be called the Okada Invitational Tournament.
I mean, we could call it the. I mean, he's gonna win B block, obviously. We could call B block Okada block.
O Block, O Block.
Yep. So let's get into it. These matches already happened. Did they happen? Yeah, they happened already. But let's just give our predictions anyway. All right, first match, B block tournament. We got Yoshihashi versus El Phantasmo. Kaliko.
Fuck Yoshihashi. I swear to God, we didn't even get to go over the block, but I, I, it feels weird this year because every year I kept saying Sonata should be the guy, but this year Sonata is actually the man in the tournament, so it's a little different. So it's a little different, it's a little different when you try to figure that out. But anyways, yes, fuck Yoshihashi.
Um, A block tournament match. Chase Owens versus Gabe Kidd. Kaliko.
Next.
I mean, Gabe Kidd is the new Bullet Club. Chase Owens the old Bullet Club. It makes sense for them to give Gabe Kidd a W here, no?
I mean, they could, but I mean, but the problem is it's like new Bullet Club versus old Bullet Club, but when has Chase Owens ever been relevant in any Bullet Club?
You're not wrong about that.
So that's the problem. Like, if it was like Tama Tonga, if he was still in the Bullet Club, I could get that point because he was an OG and it would have some significant weight. Chase Owens been taking L's since he joined the bench. Like, let's
Oh
be
yeah,
real.
I I feel like Chase Owens is there. He's going to win one big match, and that's his G1. That's what he's there for. I don't know who that match is against so far, but
What
it's definitely not.
Chase Owens is
Hmm? What were you saying?
Out where this win gonna come in? Because A Block is Kid was the best shot. Unless he beats Sonata, that ain't happening.
No.
Um,
I mean, maybe see.
Shota?
Um, I
Man.
maybe see that.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be Shota or Yota. It cannot be. It will not be Sonata.
No. No, it's not.
So, so there's that. Can't be. Won't be. Shouldn't be.
So we're agreed on Gabe Kidd.
Honestly, it should be Gabe Kidd. If it ain't that, it's gonna be a long G1 for his ass.
We're back to B block action. We got Tandaloa versus Kenta. Who wins this one? Who wins?
Uh, Kenta.
I feel like Kenta Lobo, he's coming back, he needs a win. And Kenta isn't opposed to taking L's, so why not let Kenta Lobo take a W off of him?
Because you got Yoshihashi in that goddamn block, who's gonna be the stepping stone. That's basically the doormat, Yoshihashi.
Then, I mean, that's a win for Lobo and Kenta. That's 2 points each.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I think Kenta's gonna get the upper hand. But that's all.
back to A block. Soda Uno versus Ren Narita.
Now this is interesting. I'm gonna go Shota Uno.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you might be right about that. B block. Great Khan versus Kazuchika Okada.
Really? Like
What do we
hot
call
take.
Okada building
If
G1?
Okanos, and I'm gonna play like this. If he doesn't eliminate this whole block within 3 matches, I know something. Because I've seen him do. Like I am so fucking dead serious. Like the way that he operate, like for some odd reason, I feel like G1 Okada is better than heavyweight champion Okada.
But that's insane because when he was the champion in the G1, he would always lose.
But he always gets one loss, but there was one run. He just went through everybody. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, that was like a couple years ago.
But I feel like he's capable. The fact that he's done that, I know he can do it again. And in that block, I mean, that block, I'm thinking Taichi and Osprey are probably the only two that are going to. I mean, well, you know what? Taichi, Kenta, and Osprey are probably the only three that are going to give him a run for his money. He should run through everyone else. But even with them three giving him a run for his money, I feel like Okada should just be undefeated in this block.
That brings us to an A block match. Yodosuchi versus Kano Kayomaya. Who do you know with that?
Cool. Hold on, you said Koyo Kadomai. I'm trying to. Kayomaya, just for shock value.
Yeah, I believe that. B
I
block.
mean,
Oh, continue.
no, that's what I'm thinking. Shock value.
We got B block action again. Taichi versus Will Ospreay. Feel like
Now
this is
that's this is an interesting matchup because it this is the that this is going to be where the rubber meets the road. I think Osprey or Tai Chi? Tai Chi's been a great tag team wrestler over the last couple of years, and he's starting to get his traction as a singles. I think Osprey. Barely, but Osprey.
I'm just thinking the last time the last time these two wrestled, Osprey came out with the W. That wasn't too long ago. I'm gonna call it an upset and say Tai Chi wins.
Really?
Yeah. Alright.
Tai Chi? Really?
Just
Okay,
for the
I'm going
pure
Osprey.
for the pure fact that he will Osprey beat him the last time they wrestled. I feel like Tai Chi needs to win over Osprey. And then the main event of night one on the 15th, which was a couple hours ago, honestly. Um, A block action, Sonata versus Hikaleo. Who wins for the good?
Now this is where it's interesting because in order to keep Sonata busy, he has to lose a match. And my question is to you, before I give my assessment, who has the best chance of willing a title shot in that group from Sonata?
Yoda Suji.
So then Sonata wins it is.
Right. The next night, the 16th, we'll do this a little differently. We'll do all the C block matches and all the D block matches. Right, the
All
first
right.
match, Tomohiro Ishii versus David Finlay.
Ooh. Ooh. Ugh.
I feel like David Finlay, if they're going to
I feel
establish,
like I feel like this block is gonna come down to Finley or Takagi. So Finley.
alright, Mikey Nichols versus Aaron Hanari.
Hanari.
Yeah. Shingo Takagi versus Eddie Kingston.
Interesting. Uh, especially the way that they hot shot Kingston since he got there.
Right.
And Takagi is a former heavyweight champion.
I mean,
But they
keep in
usually
mind, Eddie did pin Jay White.
but the thing is that this is his first G1 and usually Gaijins have a struggle with it. So I'm gonna go Takagi.
Oh, you make
Because
you bring such a good point up with that.
they usually make the Gaijins suffer. Like, see Juice Robinson, see Jeff Cobb, see,
Yeah.
like, your first one's gonna be a motherfucker. Like, and you know why? Because even if Takagi gets the win, Kingston can get the win back when he fights him for the never open championship, the open weight. So it mellows out.
Yeah, you're right about that. Alright, then I'll go with Shingo as well. You're swaying me a little bit here.
I mean, it makes sense though. Like
I
no
mean,
one,
it does.
no gaijin in their first G1 is running the goddamn block. That's for sure. And no one in their first G1 is gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna beat the heavyweight champion or the former heavyweight champion first man. If they do, that means fuck. If he beats him, that means Kingston winning this block.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, Tamatonga versus Evil. Tamatonga, right?
Mm, I'm gonna go evil.
Really?
Because Tomatonga's the guy that's gonna start out bad and then kind of get hot at the end, but by that time it's too late.
not quite sure. I mean, he won his block last year. I believe he was
That's
B
my
block.
point.
So I
That's my
mean,
point.
he's not winning this year, and I
He's
mean
not.
nobody expects Evil to do anything in this tournament. So
That which was why evil winning is a big fucking deal.
I don't know about that. I'm sticking to Kamikaze.
All right.
Alright, D block action from the 16th. We got Hiroki Goto versus Toru Yano. Yano. But actually, Goto has been the only person to figure out Yano in these tournament matches, no?
So we'll go Yano. We'll go Goto because Yano can fuck around and damn near win this block. I
Oh, yeah.
swear to God. Because this block is very winnable.
And I'm going with Goto because he's beat Yano in the past in this tournament. So it makes sense that he figured out how to, figure him out. Alright,
True.
Shane Haste versus Alex Coughlin.
No one cares.
Yeah, gun to my head, I'd go with Shane Haste.
I'll go Hayes, but no one's really gonna care. This is a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. Uh, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr.
This is interesting because Zack Saber Jr. has been getting the best of Tanahashi.
Since day one.
So logic there tells me Zack Saber Jr.
I feel the same way. I feel like Zack's always had Tanahashi's number. The only reason Tanahashi wins matches against him is when he's lucky. And I don't see luck on his side this time around.
Well, I could see Tanahashi winning and then losing because Saber Jr. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's still the TV champ, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see him winning, getting a title shot for a belt that he never won, just to give Zack Saber Jr. that prestige of defending the title.
I mean, Tanahashi doesn't need a win over somebody to challenge for a title. We've seen that in the past.
But he's also busy on his international schedule because he's scheduled to wrestle Matt Cardona in a couple weeks.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
blew my fucking mind.
So,
So I'm gonna go with Zack Saber Jr.
and I agree. And the last match, the main event of the 16th, Tetsuya Naito versus Jeff Cobb.
Naito, it's interesting because he's won it twice. It it depends on if we get Naito who cares. Shirt on or shirt off Naito. Shirt on Naito, he could give two shits. Shirt off Naito, he might care.
I feel like
Uh,
this is shirt
to
off Naito, for sure.
ah, ah main event. Ew. But my question is, who's gonna win this block? Because to me, the three names that stick out are Tanahashi, Saber Jr., and Naito. To me, Saber Jr. could win this block because he'll be the gaijin that wins a block. Um, so, but Jeff Cobb has been in a couple of these, and he's due. And I think if Cobb beats Naito, he's not beating Tanahashi. And if Naito beats Cobb, he's gonna beat Tanahashi, right? I don't think Cobb's gonna run both.
Um,
Uh,
I feel like it's easier to get a win on over Tanahashi than Naito at this point.
so then I would say Naito wins, and then he'll get back with Tanahashi.
There you go. And I agree with you. I'm going with Naito. Right. We got July 18th action. We're back to A block action. We got Kato Kayomaya versus Chase Owens.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's yeah, 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 yeah.
A block. Hikuleo versus Gabe Kidd. I feel like this is clear.
Ooh, Hikalea.
Ren Narita versus Yoda Suji.
Ooh, Narita.
Really? Suchi. Going with Suchi.
Okay,
Uh, Sonata versus Soda Umna.
Sonata.
Yeah. I mean, if this match was later in the tournament, I would have been, well, there might have been a shot for Soda, but the second night in, no, it's not happening.
Sonata's got to win the block, right?
I would imagine, unless there's like one
I,
upset that catches him off guard.
I feel like this is G1 to lose, but that's a whole other. We'll get with that later.
Okay. That takes us to B block action on the 18th. Great Khan versus Kenta. I feel like Great Khan should be doing great in this tournament, but I felt like he was supposed to do great last year and he completely shit the bed.
But this feels like a very B block is a tough block. I mean, other than Yoshihashi, it's a very I could see motherfuckers winning this block.
Right.
So I'll give Great O'Con the win
I'm gonna I'm
because
gonna
I
go
can't
with
find it any. I find it with Yoshi, but I can't find it with anyone else
I'm
other
going
than Kenta.
I'm going with Kenta. Alright, Tai Chi versus Tangaloa.
Mm. We had Taichi the last time. I'm gonna go. Fuck. That's hard. Tangaloa. I would go Tangaloa.
I'm gonna go with Tai Chi. I think he's gonna hit him with the Tai Chi clutch and get a quick three on him. Alright, Yoshihashi versus Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay better beat the brakes off of Yoshi. Like if, but Yoshihashi gets his one, so I got to figure out which one is that one. Maybe I don't know. We'll figure that out. Maybe El Fantasma. Who knows?
Well, that brings us to the main event: Okada versus El Phantasmo.
Okanos.
Alright, that brings us to the 19th. We're starting with D block action. Toriano versus Zack Sabre Jr. Yano, obviously, right?
Eh, yeah, we'll give it to Yano. Yano's gonna get like 4. He always gets like 10 points, and it just comes out of nowhere. Fucker stays with
Jeff Cobb versus Alex Coughlin.
Cobb.
Yeah. Tanahashi versus Shane Haste.
Tanahashi.
Yes. Goto versus Naito.
Ooh. My mind says Naito, logic says Goto. Naito.
Yes. Alright, C block action from the 19th. We got Mikey Nichols versus David Finlay.
Finley.
Yeah. Kingston versus Evil. Now I could see Evil winning this match.
I'm gonna see Kingston winning this match.
Well, I say that there's going to be like a lot of cheating on Evil's part, and Kingston's not going to be ready for it, and that's what cost him the match. Alright,
I feel like Kingston kind of be like that dude where he would see somebody cheating, tell the ref, and then punch the ref like the ref didn't see it. So Kingston.
Shingo Takagi versus Aaron Hanare.
Now that's interesting. Um, Hanare.
Going with Takagi. Takagi is the guy. Alright, and then the last match of that, Tomohiro Ishii versus Tamatonga. I mean, either way, it's going to be a banger.
It is. It's gonna be physical, brutal. Tamatonga.
I agree. Alright, and that brings us to July 21st, next Saturday, and we'll end it on this card, and hopefully we'll be able to review and preview next week's action as well. Alright, we're starting with B Block, Yoshihashi versus Tangaloa.
I feel like Yoshihashi, as much as I hate his ass, is gonna sneak this one.
Hmm. Um, you know what? I'm not even gonna give Yoshihashi the benefit of the doubt. Fucking Tangaloa is winning.
No, no snuggies.
El Phantasmo versus Great Okan.
Great O'Con.
Yeah.
Phantasmal too light.
Will Ospreay versus Kenta.
Ooh. This is tough. Osprey, because it's gonna have to go to Osprey Okada for the block.
Well, I mean, Ospreay has to. Well, I have him dropping one to Taichi. Um. Oh, so does he lose another one to Kenta?
I think Osprey wins, and whoever wins between Okada and Osprey wins the block.
Alright, then I'm gonna go with Ospreay. Does seem like it's It doesn't seem like it's that far into the tournament. It's only a week into the tournament, so yeah, let's go with Ospreay. Okada versus Taichi.
Now this is interesting. Can Okada afford a loss?
Always.
Okada.
You know what?
If Taichi wins, it's a motherfucker.
I mean, Taichi having wins over Osprey and Okada in the same G1. You know what?
Is a
I'll,
If
I
that
will put it.
happens, he needs to win the block. I cannot see him beating them both and losing the block.
I mean, how many people did Finley beat last year in the G1, and he still didn't win the tournament?
Because it's fucking Finley. No one cares.
My point exactly. So, same goes for Taichi. He could have a win over Okada, and it wouldn't be the ending of the world.
But I feel like Tai Chi on the spectrum is higher than David Finley.
I mean, I'm wrong about that. I'm still going with Taichi. Let's go with Taichi.
All right.
Alright,
Okada's.
A Block. Ren Narita versus Gabe Kidd. This is a Narita win, right?
Yeah.
Hikuleo versus Chase Owens.
Hikaleo.
I feel like it's a winnable match for Chase Owens, and for that reason only, Chase Owens. He's not gonna go 0-0. He's gonna win at least one.
Well, if that's the case, Yoshihashi's gonna win one.
Unfortunately, yes.
Like
But that doesn't
I
mean
don't.
that I have to
I
pick
say
him
that
to win.
I said that, and I tried to say that without throwing up. But I said,
Sora Uno versus Kato Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya. Yeah, Kiyomiya.
mm, Shota.
Yeah. And the main event, Sonata versus Yoda Suji.
This block screams Sonata and no one else, so that's why I'm saying Sonata.
Going with Suji. Uh, with that being said, I retract my answer and say Okada beats Tai Chi.
See, Okada in the tournament without a title is a guy on a mission. I don't know why it happens that way, but for some odd reason, when he enters a G1 and he's not the champion, it's like fucking 99 Tiger Woods up in this bitch. But anyway,
Alright, we didn't get to talk about the G1 when everything was announced. Um, who do you got winning all these blocks? A block, B block, C block, D block.
yeah, we never got to. That's my fault. When I looked at this block, I always said there was always some blocks where you could kind of tell who's gonna win what. To me, A block screams Sonata and no one else. Uh, B block, you can make the argument for Okada or Osprey. Um, C block seems like the C block and D block to me are like the wild cards because any one of those two can go on a run. But to me, I always felt like A block was Sonata, B block was Okada, C block is I want to say Takagi, and D block Zack Saber Jr. They always have that Gaijin win, and it's very rare to see two guys because I want to say Naito, but if Takagi wins, it takes Naito out, and if Naito wins, it takes Takagi out. So, but I can also see Finley winning because they want the Bullet Club to kind of be on the mend again.
Right.
So I could see Sonata, Okada, Finley, Saber Jr., which would be rare because to have two Gaijins in the semis is a bitch. But they would face each other, which means it would cancel each other out, right? Um, it's a bitch. A block, B block, it's a given. C block, D block, it could be fucking any. Well, I will say this: C block, it will not be Evil. It will not be Ishii. It will not be Tonga. It will not be Kingston. It will not be Goda. It will not be Cobb. It will not be Haste, and it will not be Coughlin. It won't even be Tanahashi. So it's either Saber Jr. or Naito. So D Saber Jr., C Takage, B Okada, A Sonata. There we go. Five.
I had A block, I believe Yoda Suji. Okada B block. C block was Finley, and D block was Naito. Okada beats Suji. Naito beats Finley, and then Naito beats Okada
Ooh. So you're trying to say Sonata Naito at G1?
at the Wrestle
I mean,
Kingdom.
at Wrestle Kingdom.
What?
That would be a very interesting story. But I also feel like Okada without a title in G1, I feel like he's won more without it than with it.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need the G1 win. And, he's had the last couple of years in the sun. So, and Naito is essentially almost, he's in the twilight of his career. A couple of years ago, Tanahashi beat Omega at Wrestle Kingdom, won the championship. It was his last big victory ever. So I feel like this is essentially that would be essentially Naito's retirement match in a way. You know what I mean?
To losing to Sonata?
No, winning
You think Naito's gonna beat Sonata?
at Tokyo Dome.
Fuck no. Boy, no, no, hell no. I think if they ever get him out of that division, that Takahashi has a better shot at beating Sonata than Naito.
I don't see it. I see that obviously the money is Naito and Sonata, and if Naito is wrapping up his career, one last victory in the Tokyo Dome with the title and one last title run is the way to go.
Not all stories end gracefully.
I mean, Tanahashi got it with Omega.
Tanahashi's still fucking wrestling.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, Ric Flair wrestled after the match at WrestleMania 24, didn't he?
That ain't the point you're trying to make. But I, I can. Only reason I see it happening is because it's Sonata dealing with his past, and his past is making him uncomfortable. But I don't. There was nothing with him leaving Lij to make it seem like it was fucking rocking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where the struggle is with me. He just was like, "Fuck it, I can't. I see myself going nowhere here, so I need to leave to make myself better."
Right.
It wasn't like he got kicked out the group. It wasn't like he turned on the group. He was just like, "I'm going nowhere," and until I like growth, he had to take control of himself to grow.
Well, that's my view on it. Who do you have? You said everybody that's winning the block. Who's winning the semis and obviously the finals?
I think if that happens, I think Sonata wins and picks Naito.
He already said that he's picking Taichi though.
Well, then if he went, if he picks Tachi, well, then that would make sense. He would pick Taichi, and him and Taichi could have a match.
In the main event
And
of
so,
fucking Tokyo though?
why not?
No, definitely not.
Why not?
Nobody's
Because
paying a ticket to see Taichi.
Naito's not getting the main event. No, he's not. I love Naito, but he ain't getting the goddamn main event.
Well, this is both obviously we disagree. Alright, um, I believe that will conclude our coverage of the G1 Climax for now. End this episode as a whole. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. Go on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rose Energy and Paramount Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Persephone Rice. Join us this Wednesday as we interview Jacob Thrasher. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Twitter and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
You can find my toxic ass on Twitter at I am Kaliko.
Fun fact, the last time Kaliko tweeted was January 8th.
Mad!
Yep. And before that,
How dare you, sir? Look up my Twitter record.
it was August 22nd, 2022 was the last time before that.
Wait a minute, what?
Huh?
But the thing is, if Kaliko tweets in the woods, would anybody hear it?
Well, I mean, we'd see it.
Okay, all right. Boy. I should have. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Next, I'm. Now you're gonna see me flood the gates with all these wrestling jokes and memes and shit.
And of course, you can follow Scooter Dust at Scooter Dust. Alright, for Kaliko Yacht and Scooter Dust, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
No fucking way, Sonata in Naito's main event in Wrestle Kingdom. God damn it.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.